The deception perception of humanity. Aita channeling her higher self. May of 2020. Interesting times we are in indeed. The drip, drip, drip of disclosure is turning into a flood. The dam is about to break. The truth is about to be disclosed as to how the wool has been pulled over humanity's eyes. The truth is that mankind has lived under a deception. Her reality has not been as it seemed. We have thought that we are free people. Particularly we in America have thought that we are the freest of the free. We thought we framed our own destiny, created our own reality, formed the outpicturing of our lives with free will. No such thing. Our relationships, our work, our homes, our politics, our medical system, our government, and all of our lives have been moulded, manipulated and manoeuvred by the powers that be. Yes, indeed, the powers that be has long been a statement used by mankind to describe the controllers of our lives who work behind the visible scenes of our governance. The governing powers that we see have little authority of their own. They are told what to do by the hidden dark ones. Long, long ago, these dark ones came to earth, when man was still in what we might call the Stone Age. The dark ones understood, from their vantage point, how man could be subtly persuaded to behave as they desired him to, without his knowledge. They understood that man learnt by repetition and fear-based conditioning. They understood that man was inherently kind and loving and wanted communion, peace, love, and approval from his brethren. They understood that man would behave according to the accepted rules and regulations of her culture, government, and cultural morality. Their agenda was service to self. Empathic mankind was service to others. Humanity tends to think that as he believes and behaves, so do others. As a consequence, as he goes about his daily business, he ascribes the same motives and loving qualities to his brethren that he holds himself. He tends to believe that governments, doctors, therapists, accountants, and all those that rule over him have his best interests at heart. He believes what he is told is the truth. He suppresses his own instincts in order to bow to the cultural governance and receive the approval of his peers. To stand out as a rebel is anathema to him. How can man do otherwise? In his first stage of life, he has no memory. He is born into this world with a mind that is as a clean slate. Nothing is written on that slate. He has no principles, no ideas by which to live. He acquires principles and culturally dictated morals from his caretakers and the society into which he is born. If he is born into a religion, the precepts of that religion become his anchor and measure of what is the correct way to live. If he is born into communism or capitalism, then those become his values of how to be and how to behave and think. Being born into an indigenous tribe of Indian Americans, one would think very differently from being born into a rich, cosmopolitan New York family. The powers that be, also called the illuminati, the controllers, the dark cabal, know how to program man into desired behaviors. For eons, for lifetimes, they have had an agenda. Their agenda has been slowly but surely implemented. All and everything that happened on planet Earth, wars, pandemics, financial crashes, famines, have been organized and arranged by this elite group. We do not see them. They hide behind their wealth and their power. Since they control the news and the press, they have managed to keep their existence a secret. They want man to think that he is in charge of his own reality, that he is innately sinful, and all the disasters that occur do so because of his wickedness. Not so. While we think we elect our government and vote for what laws should be in place. We do not. The powers behind the scenes decide who will be elected and what rules and regulations we live by. They are not human. They are masquerading as humans. They have no heart. They are of God, for all is of God. There is nothing outside God. They are the ones who provide the dark lessons for which we came to earth, to learn love. There can be no real growth without contrast. Living only in the love spirit realm, in the glorious light, high vibration of truth and honesty, we do not have a need to expand. It is the contrast of the dark that encourages and necessitates our expansion and growth in soul and spirit. Let us call these dark ones the illuminati, which definition originally came from the words the illumined ones. How were they illumined? They were illuminated in that they had the knowledge of how to program mankind. They could see his vulnerability and how to control him to serve their own power and influence purposes. Words and frequencies are the secret to controlling mankind. There is only love in the spirit realm. Here on earth, the Prime Creator, consciousness, has given souls the contrast of fear. Man that is born unto earth has a choice of living in the thought system of love or fear. Nothing is real but thinking makes it so. All that we feel, see and perceive is directed by our thinking. The same vision of the world, the same pastoral scene, can be viewed by one man as being a very lovely, warm depiction of nature, and by another man as being a desolate and lonely view. Nothing makes it so but our internal evaluation of the world around us and our interpretation of what we see. In fact, we see what we expect to see. We think reality is outside us. Actually, the reality we see comes from inside us. And that reality has been moulded by the illuminati by controlling our perception. That perception is dictated by the words that we hear and the blanket of fear-based perceptions that the illuminati has laid upon us. As a man thinketh, so he sees and lives. By the universal law of mind, our thinking creates our reality. Our thoughts create our life. If we think we are abundant, we become abundant. If we think we are poor and concentrate on our poverty, the universe gives us that poverty. Knowing this, the illuminati used words to control us. They repeated messages over and over again, and so programmed us to behave according to those messages. All the wars, famines, pestilences, monetary systems, the modern drug-oriented medical system, taxes and rules and regulations by which we live have been orchestrated by them. And since they own the majority of the money, land and power on this earth, they bribe, blackmail and coerce our elected officials and visible governments into compliance. It is only that visible government that we see. We do not see the manipulations and maneuverings that go on behind the scenes. We do not see how politicians' families are threatened, how non-compliant individuals are murdered behind the scenes. We are told these individuals committed suicide, when actually they were suicided, that is, murdered. And they are diabolically clever. They think of mankind as sheeple, that is, people who behave as sheep. Deplorable ignoramuses. One politician called those who would not vote for her a basket of deplorables. In recent times, as the time of ascension has drawn closer, the truth of the Illuminati's existence has started to drip out. We have heard that terrorist attacks and pandemics were not random events, but created by these powers that be. To mitigate this revelation, the Illuminati invented the words conspiracy theory, and mankind accepted this as the truth. Anyone who talked of the Illuminati and their control was called a conspiracy theorist. How diabolically clever indeed. Now, however, is the time of ascension. Mankind has lived through the nightmare dream of his planet Earth existence. He has been conditioned into separation, fear, and hatred, and he is rejecting it and claiming the love that he inherently is. Mankind is awakening from his nightmare. Light is being shone on the darkness that the illuminati provided. As the truth of the great deception perception comes out, the dark program is revealed and seen. Nothing can be healed until it is seen and revealed. Neither our own individual programmed dark thoughts and ideas, nor those of the human collective. These are now being brought to the light. We are in great and wonderful times. The time of prison planet Earth is coming to an end. This is the time of ascension into greater and grander times of heavenly love and bliss, the love and bliss that we inherently are. Thank you, Creator. Indeed, thank you. We have experienced the planet Earth training simulator schoolroom, and we are exiting in the glory of our heavenly beingness. That was Aita, channeling her higher self. We are blessed beings indeed.